Okay, so I want to make sure that you are all aware of one of the biggest opportunities we are going to see, certainly within the Web3 distributed ledger tech sector, but also within all of crypto, and indeed probably within the entire landscape of investing. That is DePIN, decentralized physical infrastructure networks. You've heard me talking about them before, and there is a reason for this. It is a revolutionary concept that connects physical devices in a DeFi manner that is powered by crypto rewards. So, Web3 is essentially the next phase of the internet and one intended to give us all back our privacy and sovereignty, which is not available on the current Web2 version of the internet that we have right now. The infrastructure that we have at present that runs all networks, data storage, computing hardware, you name it, is currently owned by a few mega companies. And these guys own all our data and all the rights to it. I mean, this infrastructure is extremely capital intense. And so if these companies are shelling out so much money on the front end to get these infrastructures in place, they, of course, want to capture and use and ultimately sell our data to make up for all of that cost. It's one of the biggest motivators that they have for being in this space to begin with, aside from the actual hardware unit sales themselves. And these are some of the biggest companies in the world, companies you've heard of, like Microsoft, Nvidia, Apple, Amazon, Meta. No surprises there. Now, the main areas DePIN covers include computing power, wireless networks, energy, AI, services, sensors. So huge, huge sectors. Now, with that in mind, the DePIN addressable market is said to be around $2.2 trillion dollars and is estimated to reach around $3.5 trillion dollars by 2028. This is due to DePIN leveraging crypto, Internet of Things, IoT, and physical infrastructure all for the common good of participants. Great message to get behind. All we really care about is price movement, right? But these are huge sectors. And so the value of the addressable market is huge itself. In fact, about half of what the entire crypto market is worth today. So there's a mass of money, a massive market share that this sector can dominate. You compare this to the stock market valued at around $101 trillion, dollars, we can see that there's a lot of room for this emerging sector. I anticipate companies in this sector getting themselves into the trillions of dollars themselves as things progress and evolve. Now, we have projects we are looking into now with the lower market caps in this space with so much room to grow that it's crazy. Tokens we've discussed, some of you know, like HBAR, like Render, for instance, many AI coins will blow things out of the water as this market progresses and as future cycles take place. Some of our plays to date have been on a tear recently, already 5-6% up from the lows. And I don't think it's even anything relative to what's to come. So I will say that you are not late. We are barely out of the starting block. So do not worry. We should be very bullish about this, using a token economy to incentivize real world action. It's essentially how the metaverse is set to work. And this is in the real world. This is the future. And I think you have to be a dum dum to not see which way the wind is blowing. Now, of course, like any emerging market, there are going to be duds as well as supreme winners. And the magic comes in being able to identify what those winners are going to be. As we look at some of the obvious sectors like AI and how it intersects with crypto, we've discussed this. And it will no doubt create some mega opportunities ahead of us. The same can definitely be said about the whole DePIN market, because that's going to be interacting with all these new emerging sectors and existing sectors of the crypto space, meaning that it's not just a bubble or a narrative. It is a market pivot and a market shift, and something that we have to take seriously as such. Now, we aren't going to rush to any of these projects. We only have so much dry powder to invest, right? We got to make smart decisions. This is not a community that we chase every rainbow. We hunt down the best opportunities for our research and our due diligence to make sure that we see that long-term potential, as well as that disruption that is going to motivate some shorter-term price movement, right? It's a balancing act. You've heard me say it before, but with the current crypto landscape and all of the exciting intersections going on, there is simply too much value in the market with actual value plays to chase down meme coins. But that may be just me. Now, we are actually about to jump into a brand new play in this sector in the private group that I'm anticipating is going to be one of our biggest moves. So feel free to join and be a part of that journey if you are so inclined. For everyone else, just be aware of this sector and what it will mean. Look at which way the wind is blowing. There will be huge opportunities ahead for us. You won't want to miss out because you weren't educated or because you weren't aware. Too many folks are in danger of missing out on a great deal due to their ignorance in staying in their bubbles. This would be a big mistake, in my opinion. And so I would encourage you to remain open minded to this huge area of opportunity. Now, we'll be touching on a lot more in depth analysis of the DePIN sector, if you will, as a whole. We're going to be looking at a lot of these emerging projects and tokens, some of which that I see great potential in. And I'm being very careful as to where I am attributing the value of my portfolio and that of the private group because I want us to go as far as we possibly can and make every dollar work for us in the best possible way. This often means being a little bit more conservative than just jumping on every single project that sounds exciting, that has a half readable white paper and some flashy designs. That's not enough here. But I think we do have the added benefit of many of the players within the DePIN sector who are looking to make a name for themselves where AI, crypto, DePIN, services, energy all kind of coincide into a real nice sweet spot that attracts gravitas, that attracts companies with actual solid fungible partnerships. And this is where I see the value. This is very much, in my opinion, where a lot of that traditional analysis and research comes into play, at least in the early stages, or at least to make sure that you're not getting involved in any obvious duds. A lot of crypto, as we know, is often cowboy land, where we are analyzing based off a different subset of rules than we typically see through stocks or through VC plays, for instance. This is a learning curve for me over the years, too, having to shift my own perspective from looking through that more traditional lens to something that's a little bit more open minded and driven by very different metrics, often like narrative, like sentiment, still things that are at play in more of a traditional finance sense as well, but to not the same level. This sector, in my opinion, is going to take a bit of both. We have the leverage of crypto and the crazy swings and price appreciation inherent in that. We also have emerging sectors that are brand new, which means that right now we can take the time to analyze these projects according to how they should be analyzed and not just jump on in fear of the bull market coming really quick and we need to make a move. You know my take on this. Yes, things are starting to pick up in the market as a whole. Things are starting to look a little bit more bullish all the way through the market, to be quite honest with you. Bitcoin obviously leading the charge as it almost does. You could say that that is indeed bullish behavior and the bull market has started. That's completely fine. For me, I'm positioning for more towards the height of the bull market. Of course, I want to see some positive flags along the way, understanding that we're going to see some dips, but also understanding that a lot of the plays that we really want to make a difference to our portfolio value still haven't come to fruition yet. So we are still early in the grand scheme of things. So I don't want anyone getting scared. And I've seen in the comments people saying that they've missed certain opportunities or they failed to jump on board. You haven't missed anything. We haven't seen price movement anywhere near the levels that it's going to be with all of this new value and traditional finance money coming in. We are set for some very big things. So don't feel like you've missed out. Now, if you have found this at all enlightening or helpful, as always, please do subscribe, hit the like button. I'd love you to join the community. I love to see your comments in the comments sector. Tell me about some of the projects that you're interested in. I have a very open mind right now, especially when it comes to some of these new emerging sectors. And so I welcome any input, especially if you may have done some research or some due diligence that I haven't actually got my eyes on myself. There's only so much a person can do, even if you have a team of analysts, which I don't. And so please don't be shy. Love to hear about anything new, anything that isn't a meme coin. We're not that type of community. There's plenty of people on Twitter raving about the latest and greatest meme coins. roll those dice as you see fit. But for the people following our portfolio, want to be a part of our group, our private group, we're making value plays. This is something that you want to build your net worth around in this sector, not something that we're rolling the dice looking for that kind of more gambling aspect. It's often a very exciting element to crypto investing, but not really one that I want to focus on too much, as come the end of this cycle, my anticipation is that we look back and see at all the X's, all the great value that we've generated together, and we then look to take the next steps in protecting that, in investing that accordingly, in putting it to work for us during times where crypto maybe not the best house for it at that time. We're a long way from that right now. And right now we are building our wealth. So please do, again, like, subscribe, leave a comment, do whatever you need to do, and I will catch you on the next one.